On the way from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem hides a gem of Crusader architecture. Located on a major pilgrimage route, the Church of Our Lord's Resurrection at Abu Ghosh commemorates Christ, after being risen from death, appears to two of his followers in a village called Emmaus. Wait, wasn't there already an Emmaus identified as the Roman city of Nicopolis by Eusebius, the Archbishop of Caesarea, and the Byzantine Church was built there consequently? Then why would the Crusaders bother building another church in a different location in the 12th century? Let's go and find out.
Abu Ghosh, here we come!
Crossing the Ayalon Valley, passing through the strategic western entrance to Jerusalem called Shah Haggai, the gate of the valley, we rise from the low coastal plain to the Judean hills. Soon we enter the historical parish, or church administrative district, called Terra Emmaus, the land of Emmaus. By 1150, the Order of Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, aka the Hospitallers, took control of this region and built the Abu Ghosh Church. The Emmaus story is found only in Luke among all the Gospels. According to Luke, on the third day after Christ's crucifixion, a Cleopas and his companion, some say it's a he, some say it's a she, and some even say it's Luke himself, are walking to the village of Emmaus. They were later venerated as the predecessors for pilgrims. Christ appears to them on the way and teaches them the things about himself in all the scriptures. While somehow the duo failed to recognize him until during the supper, when Christ shares the bread and wine in his characteristic fashion and then miraculously disappears. The distance between Emmaus and Jerusalem is 60 stadia. That is about 12 kilometers or 7 miles, according to the majority of New Testament manuscripts, as is the case for the Latin Vulgate Bible, the one the Crusaders would read. The older tradition of Nicopolis, some 20 plus miles away from the Holy City, was based on the minority version of 160 stadia, as witnessed by Codex Sinaiticus, a 4th century Bible discovered in Sinai, whereas Abu Ghosh is only about 7.5 miles away from the westernmost point of Jerusalem. The Hospitallers apparently favored the short version and used the Bible to back their building project at Abu Ghosh. Archaeologists believe the church must have been constructed and fully furnished by the 1170s. Before we go into the church, here at the entrance of the crypt, we see a very important secondary usage of an ancient stone. The Abu Ghosh Church and the Church of St. Anne in Jerusalem are the only two Crusader churches that are preserved intact in the whole Levant. Just like the St. Anne Church, the Abu Ghosh Church features amazing acoustics. What is unparalleled by any Crusader remains is its magnificent mural cycle on the walls. Did you see what is missing in the fresco scenes? No supper is alluded whatsoever. If the Lord's Supper during which Christ reveals himself is so important to this place, why then is the supper scene not included in all of the church's paintings? Here comes the genius of the church design. The builder doesn't want us to think the New Testament event as a cold, frozen tale from the ancient past. Rather, he invites every visitor to reenact the Emmaus Supper while participating in the Eucharist under the apse of Anastasis, that is, the resurrection. Since the beginning, the church was designed, built, and used as a pilgrim center. It would take some 450 workers a year and 7 months to finish just the stonework, with a whopping cost of 3,700 ounce gold, or $6.7 million in today's price. Its builder used various methods to add to the authenticity of the site so to attract pilgrims. For instance, given the limited space to its west, the builder even shifted its main entrance to the northern facade so to accommodate more pilgrims, although normally a basilica would have a western entrance so the visitor would face the direction of sunrise upon entry. All the facades are covered by rough fieldstones so to appear more ancient. The church also houses a Roman reservoir in its crypt, since Emmaus, in Hebrew, and Hamat, hot spring, was supposed to be Makom Ma'in Yafin, a place of beautiful water. Remember the inscription at the exit of the crypt? It says, Vexillatio Legionis Decimae Fretensis. A vacillation or detachment of the 10th legion, Fretensis, had stationed in Abu Ghosh and probably had built this reservoir as well. This 10th legion was none other than the one that conquered Jerusalem and led to the great diaspora of the Jews. It looks like the Crusaders knew this piece of history and saw it as a metaphor for themselves when they took Jerusalem in 1099. So they depicted the scene of the rejection of synagogue between Christ and the unrepentant robber, symbolizing the triumph of the church. The church was abandoned in 1187 after Crusaders lost Jerusalem to Sultan Saladin, and was revived since the beginning of the 20th century. Now, it stands in the tranquil garden of the Benedictine monastery, telling its own version of the resurrection again. Hey friends! Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to have a shout out to my friends John, Will, Jonathan, and Peter for the help during my field trip. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write below. And subscribe to this channel to see more interesting places of the Holy Land in the future. Thank you! Bye!